Boys,
Brother.
first group stage out of the way. Anything that we have to say about this group stage?
I'm not a big fan of the 48 teams. I'm just going to say weaker groups, not as exciting in terms of the knockout stages. Like the group stage, the game 3, not really any excitement, I guess you would say.
I would say in the first games, you saw a lot of nerves from the bigger teams. I think that there were a lot of unexpected results that you were not expecting. In the second game, you saw the real powerhouses kind of show themselves and emerge as the favorites. But I think there's so many side stories that kind of take up the energy of the room in the group stage with 48 teams. Right, you learn about players, you learn about teams that
100%.
you would have known nothing about
100%.
before
Yeah.
this tournament.
That's
Right?
true.
Like I saw a post that said that the goalie for Cabo Verde, for example, he was a nobody before the tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
Now the guy has more followers than
You.
Giannis.
yeah. He has like 6 million
So
followers
it shows you just kind of the breadth and the scope that the World Cup has, how it reaches the global audience, and it's really a platform for these players, these teams to show themselves. So I think that the side stories are taking up the majority of the headlines, but I think that as we close out the group stage, it's going to really start focusing on the knockouts and the real teams, and the real tournament, I think, begins now.
I think it's important to understand what you're saying is that a bunch of these 48 teams wouldn't have had this chance. And now they have a voice bigger than just this group stage. So I learned a lot. He just brought out a very interesting point that we talked about. But in the soccer side, I also saw that the African teams came to play.
Yeah. I mean, the Congo tying Portugal, right?
Shocker.
That was a crazy game. And you were telling me about some things that were going on with the country, right?
You
And
saw
how
that, right?
About what?
That in the national anthem, that these guys put their hand
Oh, yeah.
over their mouth, and then they were like,
Yeah.
that. Did you see? Did you read into that? What it meant?
Yeah, I saw that it was like a sign of political protest, right, for how the government is treating the individuals. And I think that, on the global stage, right, these countries, they can show and they can have a sense of personality and really, raise issues that the world isn't aware of, right? Like, we're probably ignorant to a lot of things that are going on in Africa that these players are bringing awareness to,
100%.
and things that we can do to kind of, go and help and support some of those causes that they're doing.
And you saw that guy that was just standing there for 90 minutes?
That guy's crazy. He's always there. He's
yeah,
always
he was there for the Africa Cup of Nations too.
Yeah, he was there in
Yeah,
previous
yeah.
tournaments.
He's like a diplomat now, I think, or something like that.
Is he actually?
So yeah, he was at least a part of the diplomats' party, is what I saw.
Wow.
That they invited him to come and they gave him some type of award, from what I understand. I didn't read too much into it though.
And what was a shocker apart from the things that we didn't know about these African teams and these Middle Europe, Eastern teams and everything? What did you believe that you weren't expecting? For me, it was U.S. United States was a shock to me.
That's not Middle Eastern.
No, I'm saying specific.
Aside from all that.
Aside from all that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the first USA game was probably the best we've ever played
Right?
as a country against any team, and in any game, in any tournament. We were phenomenal for both halves, which is something we've never really done. So it was really exciting. The second game, first half we were really good, second half not so much, and then third game, not our best lineup in the third game, and our performance showed that with the 3-2 loss right at the last minute. But really exciting for what we're going to do. And if we can get all of our players healthy, all on the field together, I like to think that we can go farther than most people predicted before the tournament started.
What do you think?
I think with the U.S., it's really interesting because I don't know if it was intentional or not, but in the previous 2 years leading up to the World Cup, the U.S. intentionally scheduled games against the top 10 countries in the world. So they played games against France, against Brazil, against Germany, and they lost each of those games. So I think that in a brilliant and genius way, I don't know if it was intention or not, it lowered expectations of the fan base of the world for how the U.S. would do. And contrarian to every other team in the first game that looked shaky, that looked nervous, that looked like the spotlight was too big for them, the U.S. rose to the occasion and dominated a very good Paraguay team. I mean, if you watch the South American qualifiers, you know how good Paraguay is,
Right.
how hard it is to score against these
Right.
guys. They didn't allow more than 2 goals, I think, in any game since Alfaro became the coach, and the U.S. put 4 past them. So I think that lowering maybe the fan base's expectation of what you would expect of this country to actually see how well they're performing is amazing. And I really hope that the U.S. continues to take this form to round of 32 and beyond.
And what do you think about another team?
Any other team?
Yeah.
Spain was that first game. I was not expecting that. That was probably the wildest in terms of opposite. Like, I thought before the tournament started, I was saying Spain would be top 3 teams. But that first game, they did not.
But I
show
gave credit.
that.
I gave credit to that keeper. To the
Cabo
the
Verde?
keeper. That's what made
Yeah.
him famous, right, Nikki?
That's true.
Yeah.
He did have a lot of stops, but with a team like Spain and the caliber of player, you would expect them to be able to find the net and create better opportunities. There were still only 3 or 4 decent opportunities where you would expect Spain to create, 3 or 4 amazing, should be in the back of the net opportunities. And I think the only one was when the keeper put it onto the crossbar, and then Ferran
Yeah.
came in and missed. Which I don't know why so many people talk shit about Ferran Torres. What do you think about that? Like, nobody likes him. it
He's from
seems like.
Barcelona, so for me, I'm not a big fan of him. But no. Apart from the Barcelona side, I rate him. I mean, he's a hit or miss sometimes in some games, but he's as close as they might say to the one that played for Liverpool, Fernando Torres. Yeah.
Torres.
Or no?
Not even close.
No?
man.
I mean,
Not even
not in
close.
Liverpool. Maybe Chelsea days, similar, because he wasn't that great at Chelsea. Torres.
No, Torres in his prime was exceptional.
Exceptional, but
Yeah.
that
I think that him and David Villa are the 2 best Spain forwards maybe in their history, at least that I've seen.
I would agree with that.
But I think that Ferran, he has great technical ability. He's not a center forward. And I'm a Manchester City fan. So I grew up, I watched him when he was young playing in City. And his technical capabilities on the ball are second to none. He's a great player. But I think that to be the number 9, you have to put the ball in the back of the net. And he struggles consistently with that. So if they're going to ask him to play number 9, you have to score those goals. And in Barcelona, you have Lewandowski, right, who can offset the goals that he misses. And in Spain, you're being asked to wear that number 9 or at least play the number 9 role. And I think that when you ask him to be that number 9, he struggles. He's more of a whole forward. I see him similar to that of Julian Alvarez in Argentina.
But he's a 9.
Julian isn't a number 9. Julian is an all-around forward.
You would say Julian's not a number 9?
No, he's not a number 9.
A
He's
number
mix between a
9.
9 and a 10. The thing with Argentina is very different. I mean, they have like 4 or 5 players that are mixed between a 9 and a 10. Lautaro is the same. He's not a pure number 9.
Yeah,
They all
pure
have the
9 is
technical
all they can
ability.
do is finish. Is Lewandowski, Erling Haaland. They're not going to go in and create plays,
Julian finishes
but he can play.
all the time.
I
No,
think
of
that
course.
Julian is a better finisher than
Yeah.
Ferran, but he's not a number 9. You
But-
tell me number 9, I think if you think of today's soccer, Haaland.
But no, and that's a good point that you're saying. I think that there is less number 9s in soccer now than there were before, because right now you can only talk about the Harry Kanes, the Haalands, the Lewandowskis, the Karim Benzema's, but like now it's the 9 is a false 9.
Yeah.
Like the star players are on the sides. They're the ones finishing. But I see less number 9s now,
Yeah,
right?
100%. So what would you categorize Luis Suarez? A true 9?
He's a 9.
You would
He's a
say he's a
9.
true 9?
He's
He's
a
a
9.
lethal
Yeah.
goal-scoring number 9.
Yeah,
Deadly.
he's
In his prime, deadly.
and you could see Uruguay's missing him for sure.
I mean, they're missing him. They're missing Cavani as well. They're missing Forlan. They're missing
Oh my
that
God.
spark.
Yeah.
They don't have that spark, and they've been to me one of the biggest disappointments so far
Yes. Yes.
of the
Turkey as
tournament.
well.
I mean,
Turkey,
I think the
yeah.
three biggest disappointments, I would say, of bigger countries that you would expect to have done better. Turkey,
Mm-hmm.
obviously
100%.
extremely disappointing in a winnable group.
Mm-hmm.
Uruguay, where you would have thought before the tournament they are the clear-cut number 2,
Mm-hmm.
now at risk of not even
Making it.
out. And then I would say Belgium. Belgium have a very winnable group, and they have underperformed tremendously against weaker teams compared to them.
100%. 100%. So Turkey, Adrar Guler, at this young of an age, and for him to just run and play the way he plays, I just feel this frustration for him. Like we saw the
Yeah.
last night's game. Like this guy still doesn't stop.
Yeah,
You know what
he's
you
a baller.
see? You know what I see with Turkey, which is really interesting? They have great individual talent. I mean, they have Çalhanoğlu. They have
Guler.
Guler. They have a forward from Galatasaray. I can't
Mhm.
remember. They have great talent, but they're not a team. You see the body language of the players? It's awful. When someone makes a bad pass, they don't look together. And I think that's why they allow stupid goals to go in against them. And they had like an interesting stat of like 26 shots with 0 goals in the first 2 games.
It was like 62.
Or something like
Something
that. Or
crazy.
something like that. And it was a complete anomaly. But I think that their attitude probably contributed to that, right? If they would have had a better team attitude, some of those missed shots could have been goals with rebounds.
Yeah.
How hard is it to play in a national team knowing that you're so active, like the whole year round, and you're coming in and you're trying to gel? Like I feel like there's a side of this Argentina team that's been there, done that, but also has lost. You know, has lost in the big finals, and that has gelled and kind of stayed together and worked themselves. And they obviously have the Messi, but you can see how much they love each other, how they walk out. The Colombias, the Netherlands right now. Like I feel like what I've seen is that you can have 1 or 2 games, but round of 32, you're gonna see that there's gonna be teams that are just gonna fall off, not because of just clinical moments. It's because there's actually a moment where you're not there for your other teammate.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems for Argentina's squad that they're all bought in on letting Messi be the guy. That all of them are good with playing through him and allowing him to do his thing. Whereas other squads, they want to be the guy and you want to be the guy and you want to be the guy and it doesn't work that way. And that's where teams like Real Madrid are struggling now because there's not that unified mission towards it doesn't matter who's the man, we're here to win Champions Leagues. We're here to win World Cup finals. And I don't think Messi is the type of guy that would be saying to everyone, "It's me. It's through me that we must play." It's just that he's that good that everybody understands that if we don't play through him, then we're not going to be as successful. Like look at Portugal, right? Whereas if they played the ball to Ronaldo in the box, they'd probably win more games. But there's a little bit of selfishness in how those players are playing, and I don't want to give it to him. I'm going to try to score myself or play it to someone else for whatever reason. But when I watched Portugal play, even before the World Cup started, they're not crossing it to him when he's wide open. They're not playing him through when they should. And it's that I just see a little bit of ego in those kind of decision making.
But the team aspect, do you guys feel that there's specific teams that you can feel that they're in there to win it because they have a good bench and then they have good starter forwards and it doesn't matter what they're running because I think like that's what motivates me into watch like what's gonna come up in this next round.
I think a lot of that is driven from culture. It's hard to transfer culture from nation to nation. And you either have the culture or you don't. And I think that that's why you continuously see the same teams make it, even though there's many talented players around the world.
But how
At
many
club
years?
level, at club level, a lot of these guys, for the bigger nations, I'll say
Mhm.
at least, they're used to being the guy. It is their team. they're used to being star number 1, 2, or 3 for whatever their club teams are. In the national team, you aggregate all of these guys that are the guy for their team. In the national team, you have the big sense of ego that we're just talking about. Who is the guy in the national team? And I think that you either have the culture of understanding, we're all the guy. So anybody that scores, we all score together. And that's something that Argentina has. They don't care who scores. And they all play for Messi. They all sacrifice for Messi. They play for the badge. They play for the jersey. They play for the fans that are in the crowd. They don't play for getting their name on the score sheet. That's what Argentina has that other countries don't have today.
But you build that.
You build that.
You build that, and I feel
it
like
comes through culture. But
like Colombia hasn't had a culture, and Colombia is now building something that they've touched the final. They've played a ball against an Argentina, and I feel like I'm not like before I was scared every time against Argentina or Brazil, but I'm not scared today because I feel like we have something that's a little more of a concept, and players that are actually willing to sit down for the other player, regardless of they should be going inside. I also think that there's other teams like Portugal, like what you were saying. Like Portugal has won two Euros when they never used to win absolutely anything, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like Nicky, I mean, obviously look at the jersey he's wearing, you know? Like he lives, eats, breathes it, and you can feel it when you're talking to an Argentinian how much the culture is embodied in it. That's why you kind of I mean, last World Cup I wanted Argentina to win. This World Cup, I want Argentina out. You know, and
Why
it's
is
not.
that?
It's not because I'm just Colombian. It's because like I feel it's time for another team to go in. Like
Yeah.
I wanted Brazil to actually perform. Am I looking at a Brazil that I feel like that Brazil of 2006, of 2004 that I was like, wow, right? Like that Brazil is something else. This Brazil against Morocco, I'm like,
Well, here's the thing of why I think Argentina has the best chance to win it this time around.
I
Is
bet on
because
Argentina too.
they've already won it. And it's pretty much the
Yeah.
same core group
Yeah.
of guys. So that pressure or that anxiety of we have to win this is gone. So they're allowed to play free. And they're just playing. They're just balling. And you can kind of see how they are moving, how the games are going. Now
But their group.
it's lighter teams.
Yeah,
It's-
but
and
their
that's
group.
that's where when I started, it's they're playing lower level teams, so you're not really getting a good gauge on how they're going to play against high level teams, on how it's actually going to play out for them. But based off of that style of play that they had in those first two games, they just look free.
But you know what's interesting? I feel like a lot of these players and a lot of these countries have that sense of not only, you know, pressure that's put on them by the media, by fans, but they have a psychological hurdle that they can't overcome for whatever reason that is.
Argentina.
No.
Okay.
And
All of them.
I'm saying
Anyone.
every
Okay,
team,
okay.
right? And I'll just take out biases
Yeah.
for a second. Argentina doesn't have that hurdle, and you can sense that. They don't care who the team is that they're playing. They are going to play their style. They don't care who you are. They're going to respect every opponent and not take any opportunity for granted. But that came through many years and many cycles and many tournaments of failure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the team, you develop calluses time over time over time. That's what builds culture. And I think that this is something that Guardiola said about Manchester City. I'm a Man City fan, so of course I love their content. And Guardiola said, he said, look, City as a club cannot compete with Real today. Why? Real has been in Champions League. They've been in the spotlight for 100 years. City has not. City needs time to develop that culture like Real has. Playing a Champions League game in Bernabeu in the quarterfinals is an atmosphere that nobody can explain, whether Real has better players or not. It's Real. Argentina has that similar aura. I
Yeah.
feel today.
Yeah.
I agree with the
I would say France has a similar aura,
Yeah.
right? You
100%.
have teams there that they've done it.
It's inevitable in a sense for them. That's just this is how we play. We're just ballers, and let's get after it. Yeah, because France on paper, they should win everything, hands down. That squad is so deep, it's crazy. Like especially at least just the attacking four. They could have 3 or 4 different players on the starting 11. So for me, it's just kind of that's where the team camaraderie piece, the can you lay down your ego and do what's best for all? That's what's going to stop France is if they can't do that.
Ironically, I think that's the biggest question you have for a France. Will Mbappe be a team player or will it be his tournament with Portugal? Will
How do you see him
Ronaldo-
now?
Who? Mbappe?
How do you see him right now?
Mbappe?
Yeah.
The thing is, it's hard because in group stage, they're way better than all
Mhm.
these teams.
Mm-hmm.
So their individual talent and skill alone
Mhm.
takes over, right? So, I mean, he's playing great. I mean, he's not forcing things. And if you see this Mbappe the rest of the tournament, they're a scary team. Like, you don't want to play against them.
No.
But if he starts, feeding into that ego and wanting the stage to be his stage, that could be France's downfall. So if he avoids that and he allows the France team to just play organically, no other country has the talent that France has. It's insane. It's
I
insane.
think it's crazy that he leaves PSG. They win the Champions League back to back.
It's
The year before
crazy.
he goes to Real Madrid, they win the Champions League
It's crazy.
and they haven't won
But
it.
clearly
It's
that
crazy.
shows. That shows because they literally had the same
The same
team, the
team.
same manager, the same style. You take Mbappe out, you put Ousmane Dembele in. Now, I don't know any person on this earth that would make an argument to say that Dembele is a better player than Mbappe. But clearly, in a team aspect, in a team sport, he's a much better fit than Mbappe. Clearly,
It
and that's
shows.
shown by the team success.
Yeah.
So, what does that come down to? So, I think that it's that component of buying into the team, not buying
Yeah.
into the ego, not buying into the me.
To be at that level, you think he has to recognize that? Be able to recognize that at some point?
When you're that great, it's hard to. Like we're not in that situation. If I
Yeah.
was as good as him, I don't know, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be here.
That's for sure.
I wouldn't be here, right?
In a bigger studio. But yeah, no, you're 100% right. And how about Mexico?
Yeah, they're Mexican. They're always just scrappy, man. What about? Tell me about this 17-year-old. I didn't really watch him too much. You guys watched him?
That kid is
Is
super
he good?
talented
Is he the
and
truth?
super great. I don't know him enough to know whether or not he's the truth, but I will say this: having a World Cup, being the host nation of a World Cup, is tremendous pressure.
Tremendous.
Regardless if you are a good country or a bad country, soccer-wise. I think that Mexico rose to that occasion. In every game, the fans were there,
They had
the
12
players
players.
performed,
Yeah.
and should they have won those games? Yeah, they should have won those games, and they did win those games. I think that winning the games is important. Uruguay should have won the first game. They didn't win the first game. Spain should have won the first game. They didn't win the first game. You see a lot of countries that should win that aren't winning. But Mexico, they won their 3 group games,
Yep.
right?
Memo
And
went
that's
in.
what counts.
Memo went in.
He went in.
He went in. It was emotional.
Does he get the
They were
legacy
saying-
badge or what?
He got the legacy badge.
He does.
Yeah, of course. 6 World Cups.
6 World
That's
Cups.
crazy.
Did you hear about that?
What do
That
you guys
they
think
didn't-
about those badges?
Yeah.
Probably PlayStation.
I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah, right. It's like PlayStation. I feel like now you're getting to a point that it's like
I mean, like, look, it's important
paid for
to
'em.
recognize the individual accolades of these players, but the World Cup, it's a team achievement.
100%.
That's true.
So if I'm one of
100%.
these players that have a legacy badge, I could care less. I want to win
Yeah.
for the badge on my shirt.
Yeah,
not
that's
the
a
name
good
on the
point.
back.
Like, hopefully they don't care, right? But
But they don't get
so
to choose. They
this
don't
is
get to
what
choose
I've
either.
been thinking about in terms of the goals, right? So Messi just broke Miroslav Klose's goal scoring record.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kylian Mbappe is not far away.
Not far away at all.
These guys in the first 3 games are scoring crazy amounts of goals. 3 hat tricks or 2 hat tricks? One from Messi, one from Dembele.
But Messi just did the hat trick on Zidane.
Right, I know that is crazy, but are they scoring?
What?
Are they scoring this many goals in the group stage if it's a 32-team tournament? Like, more people are going to score more goals.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But for example, but to that point, who did Messi score the hat trick against?
Algeria.
Algeria. Is Algeria a team that traditionally has qualified from
That's
Africa.
true.
They have.
They have.
They have traditionally. They have won the African championship, the
Yes, they
continental
did.
championship. So Algeria is a real team that would have been in the World Cup. The teams that you would have expected those hat tricks to be against.
Congo.
Maybe a Congo, maybe a
Curaçao.
Curaçao,
Yeah.
maybe a Cabo Verde.
Yeah.
Those aren't the teams
Yeah.
that you're seeing players score.
The
It's-
only smack was Germany, Curaçao. No?
Yeah, Germany,
that was a like poor them, but
Yeah.
I got
I mean,
happy.
they came back. Who'd they tie? They tied Ecuador, right?
Yeah, Ecuador beating.
And then Ecuador beating Germany. It's
Germany.
crazy.
What'd you
The
think about
thing
that?
is, I think Ecuador is a great team. I thought that they had tremendously underperformed in the first two games. I had really high expectations for Ecuador. Now, I don't know
Me too.
what level of it was.
too.
Germany was already qualified first in the group. Maybe they took their foot off the gas pedal and they didn't take the game as seriously as
That's
they
true.
would have if they were desperate.
See, that's
Ecuador
my
was
problem.
desperate. Ecuador was desperate.
Yeah.
And they won a game that they needed to win. Germany didn't need to win. Now, if that was a round of 32 game, I don't know how it looks. So I think in some of these third games, you're going to see results that you really don't know because you don't know if teams are playing the full team. Like Argentina's not going to play their starters in the last game because they're already qualified. Doesn't matter. U.S. losing against Turkey. U.S. probably rested some guys,
100%.
right?
9
Because
new
they won the
starters.
group. So I think that these third games, you have to take them, with a grain of salt because who knows?
That's my problem.
Are you okay with that? Resting them at this point? Or are you
I'm
want
okay with it
or
'cause
you
it's
want to
what the
or you want to
tournament-
build something with the people, because I understand, like, put your starters and take them out the first half. You get me? But I also think that you can't take out 9 players.
And building
Yeah,
momentum
yeah,
and
yeah.
As a competitor, I hate it.
Yeah, right?
As a
Yeah.
competitor, I hate it. But you have to understand what game you're playing. Are you playing a cup or are you playing a league? If you play a league, you put your best 11 on the field every
every
game.
time. Yeah.
Because the totality of points, the totality of results makes a difference at the end. In a cup, if you're in the group stage, you get what you need to get out of the group. Once you do that, then you have to start preparing for the knockout,
Yeah, you
where the
play- you
real
play it.
game within the game happens. So
It,
as a
tur- it
competitor,
turned
I
the
hate
third
it.
game into a friendly.
So
Essentially.
then okay, but in some groups.
In
In
some
groups.
groups,
Not in
some
every
groups,
Right? It depends.
Yeah.
Because of Colombia, Portugal. That's
Yeah,
like a
what's
final.
that for first
That's
place?
like a final.
I'm worried about that game.
But you're worried for Portugal to rest some players and to take the second,
No,
or
Portugal
opposite?
needs to win because
I know.
Portugal tied the first game. Colombia is already qualified.
But you think Portugal will be happy in second, or they'll go on? Because
I
you know the
I know
you
for
know the
a
odds.
fact. I
It's-
know for a fact Portugal would not be happy.
As an ego, or is because they're going to face Ghana or Croatia?
I think it's irrelevant.
Okay.
It's if you're a top country, you finish first in your group. You have that mentality.
So I think they're
it's
both
not about
going
getting
in,
out. It's not about getting out. It's about winning the group, and
but
that's
why I
a culture
love the
mindset.
cup. That's why I love the cup. That's why I agree with you, and that's why the third game for me is important
That's what I'm worried
with
about
Colombia.
Colombia, because
I don't
Colombia's
think
out
so,
of the
man.
group. They're already out. They're into the round of 32.
They're
Are
going
they
in
going to
hard.
rest some players? They know they don't need to win to get out of the group. However, do you want to finish first or second? If you want to win your group, if you want to show the world that we are a real threat, take it seriously. Let's beat Portugal.
Okay, so
Yeah,
like
the
Ecuador,
Colombians have
Ecuador
that.
beat Germany.
But what motivation does Portugal have? I mean, they're
I mean
They
both.
won't win the group. If they tie
on
the
paper
game,
they're
look,
clearly better.
yeah, but if you tie the game, Colombia goes first.
hmm
And if you're Portugal, if I'm Portugal, I say screw that.
So who's first
I wanna
place
go
play?
first.
Some third place team.
Croatia.
First place. I mean, that's not.
It's
an
a
easy
hard. That's
game
what
to
I'm saying.
play.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if
You think Ghana's an easy game?
No, no, I
That-
agree. I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. If you look at who gets first or second, both of them aren't easy.
Yeah.
You know, but
at
I
the end
get
of
what
the
he's
day,
saying.
It's just. I think you do have to go out and just win the game.
100%.
Just always win. Like
Not only that, so Lexi, I'm sorry, but it's the most expensive group stage game. It's
still.
the most expensive
Yeah.
group stage game. It's 3,500 minimum a ticket. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
wild.
It is fucking crazy.
It's insane.
Like I went to the Copa America final
You said 3,500?
minimum.
It's 6,000.
No, I mean in game time. I mean I don't know if I looked at game time.
I mean,
you're up there with
those
Los Pájaros, but like,
Brother, you need the binoculars.
yeah,
Come with your binoculars ready.
But in Hard Rock you can see with some binoculars, bro. But no, but like I said, it's the most expensive group stage.
Do you think that stadium atmosphere environment has affected some of these results?
Well, the American countries, so North America, South America, the fan base has been incredible. Like
Has
watching
that
them there,
impacted
Mexico.
results of the game? You think?
I think Mexico's on the Mexican thing, they've impacted it on the good side.
Yeah.
I mean, Colombia, Uzbekistan, probably.
I
was-
thought that it would have a bigger impact than what it's having. Like, I'm surprised.
I think
Really?
some cities, like Miami, is not exciting.
Really?
Yeah, at Miami, I went to the Saudi Arabia Uruguay game, and I was expecting the Charrúas like to go crazy for Uruguay.
No.
Nothing. Like there was one section of Saudi Arabia, and it was the loudest thing I've ever like heard in a stadium. Like it's like crazy. Like I never even thought these guys had chance.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like people say, yeah, they're Uruguayan, they're Charrúas, but like I had no idea. But yeah, I don't know. Do you like the whole like 3-country World Cup?
Honestly, no. I don't like it.
No.
I think it's the same thing as having 48 teams. You want to include everything, include everyone. And I think it's special having your country be the host nation.
Yeah.
I think it's special only having 32 spots in the World Cup. Like, obviously, we know why. You expand it to 48 teams. But I think that it loses some of the aura
I think
and
so
how
too.
special it is to make a tournament of this nature. And to be the host nation, I mean, let's be honest, the U.S. is a big enough country to be able to host
every
100%.
World Cup.
single
They can have
game.
every country in the world here at the
100%.
same time. Mexico is a big enough country to be able to host.
100%.
Maybe Canada on its own cannot host a World Cup, but I think that it loses the aura when you add more countries. I like the nature of it being exclusive.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. No, I agree.
The quarterfinals are, or sorry, the qualifiers are harder, right? They're fighting more because there's less spots. I feel well. I mean, and also with the 3 countries, 3 teams automatically get allowed into the tournament. So
eight teams in the third spot. Are you saying that?
No.
No.
In the
Oh.
qualifiers to actually get into the World Cup.
yeah,
Like, you know,
USA,
Mexico, Canada,
and
US,
Mexico didn't
they're
have to.
already in.
Yeah. So for CONMEBOL and for what the other one, CONCACAF, the lesser teams had more of a chance to get in, and the competitiveness of the qualifiers goes down. Because I mean, somehow Italy still doesn't make it to a World Cup with 48 teams, which is crazy. But on Italy, I was listening to a guy talk about them, but in the early 90s or late 90s when the Serie A was at the top and it was like the best league in the world, one of the presidents of one of the teams was talking to the whole federation or the whole Serie A group and was saying that if we don't fix this now, we're going to have problems in 20 years from now. And they never fixed it. And now look, Italy's not making 3 World Cups in a row.
You had Gattuso. You had
Pirlo.
You had no, but in
Maldini.
yeah, but in the coaching staff, they all left.
Oh.
Buffon, like they were all involved, and they all left.
Yeah.
Like, just
I
now.
mean, the failures of Italy can be a podcast on its own.
Yeah,
There's so many layers, so many depths to it. But it's
from
really,
the league to the country.
I think that a lot of that has to do with some of the financial issues
Mm.
that Italy as a country in Serie A had an investment leaving and going maybe more towards the Premier League. I think that has to do a big part with the quality of Italian soccer dipping in Serie A. But with Italy, it's really interesting because they won the World Cup in 2006.
Yeah.
And you look at the players, the talent. that they
20 years
had,
ago.
They had great talent,
Yeah.
extraordinary talent. Who have been the talented Italian players since then?
The last one
Excluding goalkeepers.
was I thought very highly of Chiesa until
Yeah.
he got injured.
Yeah.
Would you put Chiesa at the same level as a Totti?
No.
Would you put him at the same level as
No.
Del Piero?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's happening to those creative players? It's really interesting because I actually read an article where I believe it was Roberto Baggio, the great Italian player. who actually proposed a doctrine to the Italian Soccer Federation to change the philosophy for how they recruited players, saying that we are losing creative players in Italy. We have a very defensive first mindset. We need to harness a culture of building creative talent. So he presented this 500-page documentation for grassroots initiatives to be able to identify and find these creative players like a Totti, like a Del Piero, come out of these small Italian towns. And the Italian Federation shut it down. And they didn't do that. And they continued along with the Italian way. And the Italian way has killed the creative style. And when you see all of these international tournaments, you need that creative player to unlock this block of 5 defenses that you see when teams hunker down and really create a wall, right? Go to every World Cup. You can name one player that was creative, that was able to break it down. If you go to South Africa, Forlan for Uruguay, he was that creative player that was able to score goals from the outside.
Yeah, that was
You
a
go to
crazy
2014,
tournament.
James was able to do that for Colombia. He unlocked players. If you go to 2018, you see Mbappe, how he was able to do that for France. Messi in 2022 for Argentina. Who have been Italy's creative players in those periods? They don't have any.
So in this year,
For Italy,
no, in the World Cup, right now,
there's so many. The
right?
thing is, I mean, with all these goal scorers, I mean, you're seeing so many creative players. Like,
Who do you
it's
think's
beautiful.
been the best player other than Messi? If you're gonna say Messi,
Would you put Kane up there?
No,
Okay.
Kane had a really disappointing second game.
Second game, yeah, but the first game was great.
Yeah, his first game was great.
Haaland's first game was great too.
Haaland's first and second game
Yeah.
were great. Mbappe's first and second game were
Yeah.
great. I'm surprised with how well Vinicius has played.
Yeah.
I didn't think that he would have the tournament he's having, and he's been incredible for Brazil. I mean, we can go off of a list of so many players. Dembele today had a hat trick,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Francis, scary.
that's scary.
Francis
Elisa,
scored.
Elisa hasn't even popped off yet, but
Yeah.
at any second,
And you have Cherki on the bench.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It's an insane squad. I think that, for me, the biggest thing to see is Spain in the first game compared to the second game. The lack of winger play compared to actually playing with Lamine Yamal, it unlocked their whole entire team. Right?
You think that means you're gonna perform?
Going to perform. Like, what tells you he's not going to perform? His whole history has been performing
For sure.
at the highest level.
But
Nothing
you,
would indicate to me that he's not going to perform.
Yeah, but in the league, he has moments where he's performing, and then he has moments where he dips off. Like Rafinha. Rafinha right now is injured. Like, yes, he's injured, and
You think he's playing injured?
No, yeah, he's playing injured 100%. It's a known fact. Like, he's not okay. He cannot play, and he's a great player.
But you know something crazy? I have some inside information from some friends from Brazil that Rafinha is not a liked player in the
No?
Brazil camp by the team and by the fans.
Really?
A lot of people are actually happy he's not playing. Like, it's sad that he got hurt and he got injured, and that I don't know if he's going to play anymore in the World Cup. But a lot of people are happy he's not going to play. He's not a well-liked figure. In
Why
that
do you
camp.
think that is?
I think it has to do with maybe comments that he's made, with his attitude while
Interesting.
playing for the national team. But it's interesting how you have great talents like that aren't appreciated by their countries for whatever reason.
Yeah. So what about the fall off for Brazil? Like, why do you think they're not as good as they were for in the 2002,
Identity.
even 2006?
Identity. Who is Brazil?
Who
All
was?
of them were creative. All of them were those players that could unlock you at any time.
All of them,
And maybe it's some politics.
from keeper to starter to finisher.
Every single one brought
Every
something to the
single
Like,
one.
table.
for example, today, do you think that Neymar should be in the team instead of Joao Pedro from Chelsea?
No,
So why did he get chosen?
because of legacy.
There's ulterior motives.
Yeah,
I think,
politics.
yeah, but to me, it's like legacy.
Yeah,
It's for conversations like this.
But you don't think he
Not
could
for
bring, you don't think he
tournaments.
could bring something special? I mean, I don't think
Did you
leaving
watch
Joao
him?
Pedro
Did you watch him?
what when he came on?
Yeah, when he came on. Do you
Uh,
think that he looked like the Neymar that we've all grown to love?
No.
He's
Dude,
not-
Neymar is
he's not that
nasty,
guy.
man.
And I think that a lot
Yeah.
of, you know, teams, fans, countries fall into the trap of saying, "Oh, he's been the best, so he has to be there."
But he says the same thing about Ronaldo.
I do say the same thing about Ronaldo.
Yeah, he says the same thing.
Is Ronaldo the same player today that he was 10 years
No,
ago?
not at all.
No, but
No,
he'll
no,
put the
no.
ball in the back of the net.
That's what I say.
If you put him in the right
Yeah.
spot, and he'll put
His
himself in
second
the
game
right
was
spot.
insane.
I will say this: you have to understand which Ronaldo you're dealing with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
If you,
He's on or off?
I think that he's mentally he's always on.
Yeah.
Like he has that attitude, and you know that a player like him is going to have that attitude. That being said, he cannot be the guy.
No, of course.
So if you force him the ball and you force him to be the guy, he will underperform. He's
Yeah.
not that player anymore.
but I don't
As
think he's
great
the
as he
player
still
that.
is, he's not that guy anymore. He needs to be a member of, or he needs to be a piece in the machine that is Portugal.
Yeah, but his piece would be putting the ball in the back of the net,
Exactly.
which
That's
they're
what you
not
have to ask him
feeding
to
him
do.
those. Yeah, I think in build up, ignore Ronaldo. Like, don't give it to him. But when you're in and around the box, you shouldn't only be looking for him. But if you give
That
him
is
more
why
looks,
they didn't win the first game. I think that they were looking for him.
you think they were?
They were forcing him because obviously, look, I think that it was a disservice to him that he had Haaland, Messi, and Mbappe each score at least 2 goals,
And Kane.
and Messi scoring a hat trick
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Kane.
And Kane.
before him. Now Ronaldo steps up. Okay, now it's my time to shine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he wasn't
It
getting,
was-
was getting service though.
So you got to know, who are you dealing with? In the second game, you saw Ronaldo be the final piece of the puzzle. You allowed Portugal to just play naturally with fluidity, and they found him in the moments where he could succeed,
Yeah.
right? But you got to know that is the guy that you need for the rest of the tournament. You can't ask him to carry the ball and get you there.
Yeah.
You need to ask
no.
somebody else to do that. You need to ask the team to do that, and he
I agree with that.
taps it in. Now, the difference with Messi is that guy for Argentina.
Yeah,
How
you
he
can play
continues
through
doing it,
him,
he
yeah.
continues evolving and changing his game in brilliant ways. Messi
Yeah.
can do that, and Cristiano can't.
Yeah.
I think for him personally, that's the frustrating part. But that being said, if your country wins the World Cup and you lift that trophy, who cares how you do it?
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
cares how you do it? But I mean,
100%.
for me, always Messi's been the better footballer, but Ronaldo's been the better goal scorer. Like in terms of touches on the ball, putting the ball in the back of the net. I think Ronaldo's.
But for there to be a debate on this, it's just what made this whole era amazing. You know, like this, that, Ronaldo, Messi. Like I just think like I've always enjoyed it. Like the one thing I hated about Messi was his shirt. You know, it wasn't the Argentina shirt. It was the Barcelona shirt. You know, it was that. It has nothing to do with him playing. It was just he was on.
The UNICEF Barcelona shirt.
Yeah, it was
Oof.
just like I
Are
personally.
you a Real Madrid fan too?
No,
Hell no.
he's a Man City
Oh,
fan.
Man
Hell
City.
no.
You said
He's
that.
a
my
Man
bad, my
City
bad.
man. He suffers with us. But yeah, that's the only thing. But I've always literally loved to see them. So for me to see them grow, like I honestly was betting that Messi was actually gonna say, I'm not gonna play this World Cup. And it wasn't because of his soccer. It wasn't because of anything that had to do with his abilities. It was because like why? Like he won it all. He's enjoying Miami. He plays, but I get it. And I think like if he's healthy and has the Pauls around him, there's Luis Suarez is around him, like the people that actually push him to be in Inter Miami a better player and drive him to be the lead scorer, and MLS and the team and everything. Why not give it one more chance? And I mean, the first 2 games just talk for itself, no?
Yeah.
Like I just.
I mean, I
can't
think
believe it.
Messi's someone that does it out of pure love for the game. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like to play anymore unless it's against someone that's equally as good. So that way it's a competitive game. I don't like going out there and just like mucking around where Messi goes to the MLS and it's kind of just,
But he says the MLS is
show.
good.
it is good, but
That's
it's
what I'm
not
saying.
great.
But I mean, I'm not talking great about them or MLS, but I'm saying like these guys are out there, and I don't know. You see Messi fighting way more than you used to see him fighting in Barcelona. Like the bickering that we see, and it's not. He's not doing it for a reason, just to say, "Oh, I make more money than you." Like he cares about.
You mean
what he's
bickering
doing.
with like opponents and
Yeah,
stuff?
of course. With the
Yeah, yeah.
referees, I think he bickers more with the referees than with the opponents.
The
'Cause
thing
they're
is,
bad.
In Barcelona, Messi was just so much better than everybody else.
Of course.
Who's gonna bicker with him?
And they all have that respect.
But isn't the same thing in the MLS?
It's different. I think that his style of play has changed. He is, undoubtedly like a slower player now.
Yeah.
He's a much more cerebral player. He plays with all 5 instincts, whereas before he would play much more with with pace, with quickness,
in his
with
technique,
touch
yeah.
in those small moments.
Yeah, he's
You
not
couldn't
beating
get- you-
5
you
or 6
couldn't get
players
close to him.
anymore.
You couldn't get close to him. Now he walks the field more.
Hmm.
So you have more space to actually talk to him. So you see him. Before you just couldn't. You would try to
That's
grab
funny.
him. You reach out. He's 5 meters
Yeah,
down
he's
the
gone.
field. It's
ball's
a
through your
different
legs.
Messi, equally as brilliant.
Okay.
Just a different Messi.
Round of 32. Who passes? For sure. For sure.
I don't know. The thing is, in these cup tournaments, when it gets to knockout stage,
But Argentina
one
passes.
game.
Yeah, one game.
sure.
is-
Look. I'm very superstitious. I
Okay.
will never speak
Okay.
about my team,
Argentina
my
passes.
country's passing.
Who do I think passes? Oh man, I don't know.
For sure.
For sure? I'm gonna be wrong about it.
The Giants?
The thing is, look.
I'm not answering that
We
question.
we don't know the matchups yet, the complete matchups, and I'll tell you this with Argentina. Argentina's first in their group. They play the second place team of the Spain and Uruguay group. If Uruguay beats Spain, Argentina plays Spain in round of
Mhm.
32.
That's
If
crazy.
Spain beats Uruguay,
play
Argentina
Uruguay.
plays Cabo Verde
Ah,
or Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So-
That's crazy, right?
I don't want to say anything about any country because you don't know who they're playing yet. So
It's better if Uruguay wins, because that's when we'll really see Argentina. Because if not, they're going the same path as 2022. They're
So
going.
if Uruguay wins, then Spain
they
plays
go against
Argentina.
Yeah,
in the round of 32.
and
Oh,
that
I
was the
would I would
finalissima.
love that.
That was the finalissima.
I would love
That's
that.
why tonight, baby.
Come on, I'm a big Uruguay fan.
Today we're going for Uruguay. Uruguay. I want to see that. But yeah. All right. I think in the Colombia game, I think it's gonna either be a tie or Colombia's gonna win. I definitely think that the for sure players that they're gonna pull out is the forward. That Luis is not coming out. Luis is playing. Puerta.
Suarez.
Yeah, Luis Diaz. They're
Lucho,
not, they,
okay.
yeah, they're not gonna bench him. James, I think they'll sit him. They'll sit him right now because at the end of the day, he's not playing his position.
Yeah.
He's playing. They're putting Arias and Puerta that I think is phenomenal, and Luis Suarez. I think they'll put Cordova. Cordova. If it wasn't for Cordova, we wouldn't have got that goal versus Congo. So you have depth. They might let Richard Rios go in to Mario, but they'll actually put in some players that I feel like will provide not a hole or just like fresh legs, will amplify the team. In Portugal's side, I think they're gonna go in just as strong.
They need to.
Yeah, I think they're just
They don't
gonna
have a
go in.
choice.
Yeah,
In Portugal's side, it's easy.
yeah. But Leao, would you put him in?
No.
No. You
Well,
leave
that
him
has
on?
been bad.
I
Yeah,
think
right?
that he's an awful team player. His attitude is awful. And
It
it's been
seems
noted
awful for
in
sure.
Milan. If you ask any Milan fan, ask them how frustrated they are with him. Because he has a really negative energy, very bad like body movements, facial gestures. Like he looks lazy at times, like he gives up on plays. When you play for your national team, that's the last thing you want in a player.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
last.
You know who has it hard? And I think we talked about it? A Portugal's coach. You sit Ronaldo, you get fired. You don't win the World Cup, you get fired.
Yeah, but what's his name?
Right?
But like at the end of the day, they pay you to do the job.
I know.
What's
I
the
know.
job? Is it
To
to
win.
make
To win.
the best player happy or to win?
No, to win.
What's his name?
Roberto Martinez.
That's it. I mean, he fumbled Belgium's generation, golden generation. So
The
I
thing
don't
is,
really
I
expect
mean, the
much.
thing with Belgium is Belgium has. I feel like I don't know if it's their culture. I don't know if it's the national team. they have great talent, but they lack passion.
Yeah.
Like you can tell in those games, like they're content with 0-0. Like they're not fighting. Like I would be fighting somebody on the field to get a goal.
Yeah, they're not fighting like the
They don't
Colombians
have
were.
the heart. And you know, in Argentina, you say like those players have like son pecho fríos, like they're cold hearted. I feel like Belgium has always had that issue with
Yeah.
the insane talent. I mean, think about this: with Hazard, with De Bruyne, with Lukaku in his prime, with all the other great center backs
Mertens,
that
they
they've
had
had,
so many
company,
players.
incredible talent, zero heart.
Yeah.
Why? And I think that stems back to what we talked about at the beginning of culture.
You know who we haven't talked about today? Netherlands. What do we think? They're a favorite to win. They're good on paper. They're a good squad, and I think they've been playing pretty well too.
Have you seen that there's an economist
Yeah.
who, over the past 3
Yeah.
World Cups,
Has
he's
guessed.
successfully predicted the winner
Mm-hmm.
based off of economic metrics of certain countries,
Really
right? So he's not using like soccer-based metrics. He's using like economics
interesting.
to predict who the World Cup winners will be, and he's gotten it right the past 3. And for this World Cup,
Put Netherlands.
he put Netherlands.
Nicky unfollowed him since he didn't put Argentina.
That's crazy.
I mean, to me, Netherlands is the best
Makes it sound
nation.
rigged.
They're the best nation to never win a World Cup. It's incredible how such a small country has been able to consistently outperform the size of their country at the global stage.
Yeah, they're good, man.
How
They've
about?
or at least they've always produced players
Yeah.
throughout
I
time.
think that when you think of Netherlands, they have a philosophy. They have a point of view of how they want to play soccer. And that goes back to the days of Johan Cruyff,
Yeah,
right? They've always had that culture and they've always been good because of it. And even the players today, you see, they play with that same level of
yeah. Some
fluidity.
great players have come out of there. Like Luis Suarez was at Ajax for a long time,
Hmm.
right? Great players have come from
Ibrahimovic.
Zlatan was there
Zlatan,
as well.
Yeah.
A few more.
Ronaldo.
That
In PSV.
that Ajax team when what's his name? Ter Stegen, not Ter Stegen, the bald guy, manager was the head coach in like 2019 when they made
Erik
it to
Ten
the-
Hag.
Erik Ten Hag. That team was incredible. They had Zayic. They had so many players that went off, but they all kind of fumbled after that. No one really stayed on top. Martial was on that squad.
Was he there?
Not Martial. What's the Brazilian guy's name that went to United and fumbled and then went
Yeah, I know who you're
to
talking
Anthony? No,
about. Anthony, yeah.
Anthony, right?
Anthony, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in Betis now.
He's at
Yeah.
Betis now. He was supposed to be the next player.
But I think that like those teams, like Ajax, there's an aura to Ajax. It's not
Yeah.
about the player's name on the back. It's about Ajax as a club.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've been up there.
Like
in
you saw- you
in
saw all those
Croatia.
players, they got traded. And when they left Ajax, they were not the same. De Jong, arguably, is the
Yeah.
only player that has
That's true.
done well.
Yep.
But the center back, they leaked.
Yeah.
He kind of fell off the
He
cliff.
fell
and you
off,
thought
yeah.
that he would be the next Van Dijk.
Yeah.
And he never really materialized.
Yep.
Yeah.
De
Into
Jong
that.
is the
That's
only
true.
one that's.
But it's because he went to
been-
United.
He
Of
didn't go
course.
straight to United,
is
did he?
where, yeah. Players' careers go to die.
That's where you're gonna die. Yeah. Except Bruno Fernandes somehow.
Croatia.
Bro, they've always been somehow.
They always get to the.
Good.
Yeah, they always
Exceptional, man.
get there.
Their
always
their
get there.
their development is also very good. They're a lot like the Netherlands in terms of clubs like Dinamo Zagreb, and I think there's one more that they produce just really good players.
I
some
think that
really great players.
if you
that
look
come
at
out of there.
history, like Croatia used to be a part of former Yugoslavia. And Yugoslavia used to make it to the semifinals consistently in World Cups and in international tournaments. The talent that those Slavic countries produce, it's insane. It's insane. If you think about today, if you could put together a team of former Yugoslavia, of all those countries, imagine the all-star team that you would have. You would have the Croatian midfield, you would have Oblak, you
Yep.
would have some of the Serbian defenders and forwards.
Yep.
They have incredible
They
talent.
do have good
They've
players.
always
the
produced great
board.
talent. I think that the one thing that they've always lacked was discipline to be able to beat like some of the good teams, but they've always had the talent.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think round of 32 is gonna come in super hot. I already made my predictions, but I also think that we have a lot to talk about after getting close to the round after 32.
Yeah, I want to see USA win it all, but we'll see how that goes.
You think they have a chance?
Anybody in the round of 32, anybody has a chance.
In the knockout, anybody, you just like he was about to say, it's just one game.
Who gets
And
golden
anybody
boot?
can show up for one game.
Who gets golden boot?
Probably Kylian Mbappe,
I think Mbappe gets golden boot.
Best player?
Messi.
I want it to be Messi.
I think he's like he was saying, he's so cerebral now, and he's still got the touch. I think he'll just still figure it out.
Morocco
against top
Morocco
teams.
goes far again?
I look, as crazy as it sounds, it just depends on the matchups. Like I don't know kind of how the bracket with 32 teams. Who knows what the
Yeah,
path
I don't
is.
even know where it would go.
We need to see what the round of 32 looks like.
And then the
Matchups
paths will
make
be
a bit
clear.
different. Yeah, paths become clearer. But I think the mindset is I mean, look, if you think about it, you don't have to win any games after the round of 32 to become a World Cup champion. You just can't lose. So when you have that mindset, anyone can realistically win any game. Like, it's very hard. Like, imagine Spain Cabo Verde in the first game. If that was a round of 32 game, penalties will decide who goes through. Like, it's really hard. And if your team buys into that mentality, that's what separates the teams that qualify from the teams that don't.
I agree. Well, thank you, boys.
Appreciate it.
Solid.
Yeah.
Clip Studios, World Cup talk.